Hello, and thank you for providing me the opportunity to present on the Southern Ocean Observing System, or SOOS. This presentation will give an update on our key achievements for the last 12 months. My name is Elise Hancock, and I'm the SOOS Executive Officer, and I'm presenting this on behalf of the SOOS Executive Committee, Eileen Hoffman, Mike Williams, Sian Henley, and Sebastian Moreau. I'd like to start by thanking our SOOS sponsors, without which it wouldn't have been possible to achieve what we have. The SOOS International Project Office is sponsored and hosted by a partnership agreement between the Institute for Marine and Antarctic Studies at the University of Tasmania, the Tasmanian State Government, and CSIRO. We also have a number of international sponsors: Antarctica New Zealand, the State Oceanic Administration in China, the Swedish Polar Research Secretariat, as well as new sponsors for 2021, TÜBİTAK Polar Institute in Turkey, and the University of Cape Town Marine Biogeochemistry Lab in South Africa. Thank you again to all of our sponsors and their generous contributions. In the last 12 months, SOOS has produced a number of outputs. These include 8 scientific publications by the SOOS community, 14 newsletters, of which include the SOOS Update, the newsletter of the Southern Ocean Observing System, as well as newsletters from a number of our working groups, 12 reports to international stakeholders and policymakers, and 3 video presentations, all of which are available on the SOOS YouTube channel. SOOS has hosted 21 events, all of which have been held online due to the COVID travel restrictions. However, despite these restrictions, we've still maintained holding annual Scientific Steering Committee meetings and Data Committee meetings, as well as holding workshops for a number of our working groups, all of which were greatly attended with fantastic engagement. SOOS has also attended 34 international meetings and presented at 21 of those meetings. And in the last 12 months, we've endorsed 14 project proposals for the community. In the last 12 months, SOOS has released a new draft Science and Implementation Plan. Our last implementation plan ended at the end of 2020, and this new Science and Implementation Plan will give the priorities for our activities for the next 5 years, to 2025. This Science and Implementation Plan has been reviewed by 4 independent reviewers, coordinated by our governing bodies SCAR and SCORE, and we're currently underway with undertaking the revisions based on those reviewer comments. Within the science plan, the community has agreed upon 5 science themes for our activities over the next 5 years. These are the Southern Ocean cryosphere and ocean interactions, circulation, carbon and biogeochemistry, and Southern Ocean ecosystems, as well as a 5th interlinking theme of fluxes. The community also recognised the need for a number of foundational capabilities to support our objectives. These include observing system design, key variables and modelling, methods and standards, and data management and delivery. Through all of these science themes and foundational capabilities, it's also important that we maintain the Southern Ocean network and coordination of the Southern Ocean community and ensure that that community is as equitable, diverse and inclusive as possible. For each science theme, the community has identified a number of key challenges for the next 5 to 10 years for that theme. And SOOS will be ensuring that we enhance the collection and the delivery of data required to meet those challenges. We'll be doing this through our SOOS working groups, as well as ensuring we're complementing ongoing efforts of SCAR and SCORE and other community programs. SOOS has a number of working groups, including 5 regional working groups who coordinate the activities within each region of the Southern Ocean. These regional working groups give us a circumpolar coverage of the Southern Ocean. We also have a number of capability working groups to enhance the capabilities of collecting the observations where we currently have gaps in the observing system. We currently have 3 capability working groups who have continued from the last implementation plan into our new implementation plan. These are censusing animal populations from space, Southern Ocean air-sea fluxes, and observing system design. In addition, we have a number of task teams. These are smaller teams working on shorter-term efforts. We currently have task teams focused on developing ecosystem essential ocean variables, autonomous underwater vehicles, and a third task team, which is a joint task team between SOOS, the SCAR Data Committee SCADM, and the Arctic Data Committee, working on enhancing the discovery of polar data, POLDA. The SOOS Scientific Steering Committee is also currently working to identify new capability working groups and task teams for SOOS for the key gaps that we need to address to meet our key science challenges and themes. In addition to our SOOS working groups, we also have a number of key products that SOOS delivers to the community. One of those is SOOS Map. SOOS Map is an interactive map providing aggregated data sets of the Southern Ocean. Within SOOS Map, there's 18 data layers with over 50,000 data sets, and on average it's viewed 96,000 times a year. SOOS Map is hosted and maintained for SOOS by eModeNet Physics, the European Marine Observation and Data Network. In the last 12 months, SOOS has quadrupled the number of CTD casts available through SOOS Map. This was through the addition of over 18,000 casts from Pangaea. We've also added our first commercial source, which was a circumpolar dataset from Saildrone, and in collaboration with eModeNet have developed new tools and new architecture to improve the performance of SOOS Map. What's coming for the next 12 months? Well, we have new data layers going into SOOS Map, and we have a totally new interface for SOOS Map. So here's a sneak peek. The new SOOS Map interface will still provide all of the things that SOOS Map has always provided to the community, but in a more user-friendly interface. So watch this space. And if you're interested in learning more about SOOS Map or using SOOS Map, please visit soosmap.aq. Our second key product is SOOS South, the database of upcoming expeditions to the Southern Ocean. Within SOOS South, there are over 400 past and future expeditions from 24 nations, with direct feeds from CAMLR, COMNAP and OceanOps, as well as expeditions discovered and entered by the SOOS Project Office and community. In 2021, the hosting of SOOS South moved to the European Polar Board, with the previous host being the Australian Antarctic Data Centre. In the last 12 months, SOOS has ensured that we continue the annual feeds of information of upcoming expeditions through COMNAP and CAMLR, as well as signing an agreement with IATO for integration of tourist vessel information and upcoming expeditions to the Southern Ocean into SOOS South. What's coming for the next 12 months? Well, SOOS South is also getting a new interface, with the European Polar Board developing not just a new SOOS South interface, but also a totally new interface called Polodex, which will provide upcoming trips to both the Southern Ocean and the Arctic, as well as information on vessels, aircraft and research stations. So here's a sneak peek of Polodex. Within Polodex, you'll be able to enter whether you're interested in upcoming trips to either the Southern Ocean or the Arctic, and then, like SOOS South has always delivered, be able to search through the past and upcoming expeditions, as well as gaining information on the vessels, aircraft and research stations associated with those expeditions. So watch this space, and if you're interested in learning more about SOOS South or using SOOS South, visit our SOOS website and SOOS South. As I mentioned before, ensuring that we have an equitable, diverse and inclusive network in the Southern Ocean is key to achieving our objectives. And therefore we've recently established a SOOS Equity, Diversity and Inclusion Group. This is being chaired by a Scientific Steering Committee member, Sarah Fawcett, and a Data Committee member, Steve Diggs. It will be an ongoing effort within SOOS that ensures that we act in accordance with our values. They'll play a strategic implementation and advisory role to not just the SOOS, but also the broader Southern Ocean community, with the aim to make Southern Ocean science more welcoming to all people. And as part of this, identifying the barriers to full participation within SOOS and working where possible to circumvent them. SOOS has been involved in the UN Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development. We co-convened the first Southern Ocean Regional Workshop in February last year, coordinated a community response to the Zero draft of the Decade Implementation Plan, and are a key partner in the Southern Ocean Task Force, which is leading and driving the Southern Ocean Regional Program for the decade. This includes holding the second Southern Ocean Regional Workshop in the last month, which was held in joint with the Polar Data Forum 4. Through this workshop, the Southern Ocean Task Force are writing the action plan for the Southern Ocean contribution to the UN Decade. If you're interested in learning more or joining the Decade efforts, visit sodecade.org. Thank you very much for listening, and if you're interested in learning more about SOOS, subscribing to SOOS, or updates from our working groups, please visit soos.aq. Thank you.